Hi there, I'm Daz, and today I'm making a walkthrough video of the quest The Lost Expedition. So I'm starting filming in Understone Keep, which is in Markarth, and I'm right beside the area where Calcelmo hangs around during the day. And I'm starting here because the Lost Expedition is kind of linked to a side quest that Calcelmo offers, so I'm going to collect that now. I'll skip through this conversation quite quickly.
I'm sorry, persistent. I'll let you in if you deal with Nimhe. Enthusiasm. Good.
So there we are. We've been given a side mission to kill a large frostbite spider. It's actually not necessary to speak to Calcelmo. You can actually just pick this lock and head into Nchuand-Zel on your own accord. But I thought I may as well do things properly on this occasion. During this video I will remain focused on the mission at hand. I will not be deviating to collect loot or to explore. And I have a very overpowered character, so I will be steamrolling right through all of these enemies without any problem. This is just to make the video shorter. So here is Nimhe's location. So that part of the job is complete. And to start the Lost Expedition, we need to read this note. And there we are. And at this point I'm going to check my journal and make sure we don't have any extra objectives active. Because the map markers can be troublesome enough on this mission, as is, without making things worse. Right, I can't hack through that webbing due to the hitbox of the dead soldier, I'm guessing, so flames will work just as well. So now let's head into Nchuand-Zel. As is always the case, this place will be infested with Falmer. This guy usually falls off of the end, but I managed to get him. Right, where did he come from? So our first objective is to recover Stromm's journal. And there we are on the map. It is very easy on this mission to wind up walking around in circles. Especially if you stray off of the beaten track and start exploring. I'm not going to be doing that. Here is the first journal. If you do wish to explore, this is a very rich area for dwarven scrap. I think you can get something like 300 or 400 dwarven ingots if you collect all of the scrap. As you can see, there is all this area to explore. I'm ignoring that. I'm just going to head straight back out the way I came in. There is an exit off in this direction as well, but it just leads to a balcony, and there is no way down unless you want to risk the jump. So it's best to actually just return to the entry point as directed. And then we need to head down a couple of ramps. I'll go back to the map once we are at the doorway to the armory area, which is right in front of us. There we are, Nchuand-Zel Armory. And this is how things are looking on the map. This is the door that we just exited, the quarters area. So we'll head in here now. Now there are a couple of ways to proceed at this point. You can take these stairs, or we can just work our way around here, which will involve some lock picking, but it is quicker. It's all quiet in here at this point. Here is our next journal. I'll return to the map. Now at this point you may be tempted to investigate this chest, and once you do so, that will activate some defences. And there they are, right on cue. You'll be left alone otherwise. So now we need to leave this zone, but we need to deal with some enemies first. There's another one down there, we can ignore him. So we leave by this door, which is looking like this on the map. This is where we entered. So we are now taking a ramp up to the control area. We have another journal here. And this is actually quite disappointing. On this bench there should be a copy of the Alteration skill book Sithis. I'm actually making a playlist at the moment, trying to cover every location of every skill book copy. So hopefully I can get that to spawn at some point. It is a known bug, but that's not the focus of this video. So this is how the map is looking now. And we are getting close to completion. We need to be careful in this area. There are quite a few floor plates. My character has the light foot perk, but I'll still try and be cautious and point these out as we come across them. There is the first one. And I think there is another floor plate close by. There is the next one. Very easy to miss when you've got Falmer firing arrows at you. And here we have our final journal of the unfortunate Staubs. Staubin it says there, it says Staubs on the journal. So we have to reactivate the automated defences. And when we do so, I'm guessing something interesting will happen. Go back to the map. This is where we are now. Pull this lever. And I think some people get into problems here because they try leaving the way they came. Which you can do, you can head back down there. But it's much quicker. There is a chest there, by the way. It's much quicker to just go through these gates that have just opened upon pulling the lever. And then you can also empty this chest if you like. That's your choice, but then you just drop down onto the pathway below. And we come to the door that we entered through just a few moments ago. And I'll point out something a little interesting here, although it's not necessary. You'll see a couple of midget Falmer having a fight. I wonder if the helmet will still fit. It's quite peculiar that you can take the gear. They are nasty little devils, though. So there we are. That's just a nice little side note, I think. So all we need to do is leave the area. You don't have to get involved in any of this conflict. We just drop down now to the place where we entered, Nchuand-Zel. And the final quest objective actually just says to find someone who knows about the expedition. What that really means is we need to speak to Calcelmo in order to clear this from our quest log. I'll quite understand if you stop watching my video at this point, but I'm going to continue filming until I have completed the mission fully. I would have preferred a shorter loading screen.
The artifacts you have my gratitude. That spider had been, as promised, is the key to the Dwemer Museum. Let's see. Ah, so that's what happened to Staubin. Tragic. But I warned him he was leading those people on a fool's errand. Unfortunately, sometimes the stone of scholarship is built on the foundation of death. I'll inform the king. Here, I usually pay researchers for their work when they emerge from the ruins, but they won't be needing it anymore.
So there we are, folks.
Oh, goodbye.
I hope my little video was reasonably easy to follow.
Next season for sure.
And for anyone that has stayed to the end, thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.